Don't rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
If you don't like me, but you keep watching my shit, you're still a fan. I can't even begin to explain how many individuals I have on my social media right now talking shit about my message, about me, about how I look, about the individuals I surround myself with who don't follow me, don't like me, and don't actually want to see me succeed. But you still here, homie, so you still a fucking fan. And if you just took your focus off of me, off of my life, my accomplishments, my daily tasks, you would probably already be successful.
Some people are so dumb that I genuinely wonder how they survive from one day to the next. And then I remember that jellyfish have survived for 650 million years with no brain. So I guess if they can do it.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
smokies. Like, we already have like 100 comments in the chat. So I'm going to say hi to a few people. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time with it. Guidance, thank you for being here. Emma M, nice to see you. Hurst Hill, Robert's girl, Kimmy Poo, nice to see you. All right. Amanda Elizabeth, cool gamer, nice to see you in here. Nice to see you all, Crazy Mama. There's a lot of people in here. Stacy, Dana, Misty, Angie. Nice to see you guys all in here this evening. We already have about 530 people filling in the chat as we speak. So please go out there and don't forget to thumbs up this segment. As you can see, I'm back at the office, okay? I'm back at the office. I didn't know if this was going to be possible today. I have to be honest. I didn't know if this was going to be possible. But we're here. I got to look at something. I'm not sure if mine... There it is. We got our CD that we got from Mascow in the reader right now. I haven't even looked at stuff in this file yet. Haven't even looked at it. So I'm going to be pulling that up here shortly. And we got some body cam footage. We've got some other stuff. I mean, I don't know how important it is. And then that's going to go up to our discussion. We have another discussion to come up that we need to talk about as a team, how we're going to move forward with our record requests. I have already made a mess of record requests. We'll go over the record requests that I've got forthcoming. Sorry, guys, I'm eating because I didn't eat. I've been on a plane literally all day. Olivia and Mom just dropped me off here. Guys, this trip, when it came to the travel, the airfare, starting out in Tampa, we dropped our bags off. We're about, like, it's an hour before our plane is leaving, and we're getting calls across the intercom. We literally had to run out of TSA, run downstairs, go back to the entrance where our bags were dropped off. We had to beg them to put our bags on the flipping plane so we didn't get to Seattle with no tripods, no clothing, no nothing. Like, literally, we would have had to buy everything. Thank God we were able to stop and we were able to get that taken care of and make the plane. Then when we get to the car rental, never in my life have I ever paid a $500 deposit, especially with Hertz, ever. That's what we pay here in Florida if you're a Florida resident renting a car here in Florida. I don't know why they charge people more money in the same state if they rent it from. I guess they think that they can't afford a car, or, you know, it's not for travel purposes. I don't know. But the only time I've ever been charged $500 is when it's from my own state. But every place else, it's been a $250 deposit. So you can imagine having to fork over $1,000 right up front for the car about made me fall over. Then we get to the room. Our room was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. That Fair Bridge, it's a cheaper hotel, but you know, there was a fair view, and I guess I read the wrong comments or whatever, and then I picked the wrong. It just got convoluted. It was disgusting. We had to walk out of there, and I even have a recording of the general manager. They need to be fired. Whoever's over at that Fair Bridge hotel in Mascow, you're filthy. You're filthy. Your entire organization is filthy and disgusting. You want to know why you get those poor reviews? It's because you're filthy. Okay? Who the hell's going to sleep in sheets that have dirt on them or stains? Like, whoever's hired you guys, they need to be fired. If it's the owner, he needs to be, he needs to get out of the hospitality industry. Okay? Fair Bridge hotel, motel, whatever the F it is, out there in Mascow is disgusting. Disgusting. Shame on you. Shame on you. And to act like I'm the problem, maybe you need to quit being so filthy. So we ended up going over to another much nicer hotel. It was about twice the cost, which, you know what? I'm sorry, but Olivia and I talked about it. Like, we were ready to go get sheets and pillows for this room. And I'm thinking, this is insane. This is freaking insane. Who the hell goes to a hotel room and has to clean their own room and buy sheets and pillows so they can sleep? At that point, I walked in there and I just said, you know, this is absolutely unacceptable. We had to move a room. Move a room. And guess what? We walk into that room. The room's filthy and has stains on the sheets. Yellow stains. It was gross. Absolutely gross. Fairbridge, Mascow, never stay at it. And just filthy, disgusting individuals. And even the staff there are fat, lazy, and disgusting. And if they would have charged my credit card, I would have went slap off. So I knew there was a problem because when I was with Marissa, I realized I needed to be in Seattle from the 2nd to the 3rd. And so I called the hotel. It was a week later. I called the hotel to say, hey, you know, I made a mistake. I just needed to reduce. I've done it before. Reputable hotel. They're not gonna hold your feet to the fire for a date a week away. This lady wanted to charge me. I already knew there was something wrong because I told her, this is what I said. I said, this will be reflected in your review, that you will not let me modify my reservation. My reservation is over a week away, 8 days away. And I only need 1 day removed. And you're not allowing me to, well, you shouldn't have made the mistake. And I said, well, you know what? You know, people make mistakes all the time. I guess the world's not perfect. I said, but I will put this in your review. And she went fucking ballistic. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to say the F word. Sorry, guys. She went ballistic. So much so, Marissa picks up the phone and starts recording how she's speaking to me. Because meanwhile, I'm just talking to her like this. I'm like, look, well, I understand that I made a mistake. And I just want to let you know that this is going to be reflected in your review. And then by the time we hung up, she's like, do you know, blah, 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 this. I can't remember where I said, no, I'll be there the 27th. Oh, believe me. And she's like, yeah, and you're threatening me, and I will, threatening me with harm. I said, threatening you with harm? I said, I threatened you with a bad review. I don't know if that rises to the level of bodily harm, but you will be seeing me on December 27th. I'll see you soon. And get there, and the place is disgusting. So we didn't even stay. So it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. So I'm looking at this, and it looks like we do have some stuff. Do you guys want to see some of the, put a one in the chat if you guys would like to see some of the record. Oh, we have a new member. Oh, nice to see you guys. Guys, I noticed that we had some gift memberships on this channel, and I don't know when those memberships were gifted. Whomever gifted those memberships, thank you. But that's the only thing I don't, well, there's two things I don't see on this end of StreamYard. One is the gifted memberships. And two is your comments that you make on your memberships. You know, like when you have your milestone memberships, your 1 month, your 2 months, you're able to get a free little, you know, colored post every month. I don't see those on this end. So if you guys see that, if somebody can just notify me to go on to YouTube Back Studio so I can see them and read them, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's hard to read these because this category catalogs all the comments. We run on Facebook, we run on Twitter right now, and we're running on YouTube. So StreamYard, I can see all the comments that are made, whereas on YouTube Back Studio, I can't. So just let me know to go back there. If you guys see something pop up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Betty, your intro is far too long. Well, I listen, I started my live, Kathy. I started my live 16 minutes early, okay? I do that on my live streams. You don't see this intro on my videos. That is so everybody has an opportunity to come into this room and get situated and get their drinks and stuff like that. So I'm not talking about cases when people aren't here. We have 1,000 people. By the time I ended that intro, we had 500 people in here. You see what I'm saying? So it allows people to get the notification, get situated, and come into the room. That's why we have an intro. That's why I don't just immediately start. I could just immediately start. But you know what? The flip side is that people come in, they won't stop the live to go back to listen to the intro. And so they have to wait until the very end to go to the very beginning. And I don't find that fair. And you know, if you don't have, with all due respect, if you don't have the patience to wait 4 minutes to see me speak, then, you know, I'm sorry. As you can see, I talk before I even get into the meat and potatoes of my segment. So, you know, it is what it is, okay? If you don't like it on my show, you don't have to be here. But I'm not going to sit here and keep hearing and listening. If you're going to complain about the intro, then leave. It's pretty simple. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm over it. This is my show. This is my channel. If you don't like it, don't be here. I'm over it. Like literally over it, right? So with all due respect, you're more than welcome to wait 15 minutes when I start my show and then decide to come in. You don't have to be here at the beginning. There's a lot of, ways to handle it. But coming to me with it after I've already addressed it several times is just going to piss me off. And I'm sorry. I'm not really in the mood to be pissed off this early into the show. Get it? So anyways, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Any snooty comments can be left for another day. Because I just got off a plane. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. We've had nothing but problems on this trip. The trip itself was good. We got a lot of good work in. It's just all the other BS that came along with the trip. And then I'm just now getting home. And what do I do? What do? I get off a flipping plane. I dump my bags in here. And I come on here so I can show you stuff that I haven't been able to show you while I've been on the road. And we already got somebody complaining about the damn intro. Like, figure it out. Just don't get me involved in it. Because I tell you what, I have said this for years and years and years. When I get involved, nobody likes it. I have a way of just shutting shit down. Boom, done. That's the ability I have. I am unable to comment on Facebook. User says, I'm unable to comment on your YouTube channel. I was blocked for some reason. The Ruby Pearl Glamper podcast. What? Ruby should not be blocked under any stretch of the imagination. And we need to start recording. It might have been an accident, Ruby, in all fairness. You know how it rolls. But give me just a second. Let me... Okay, let's see. Where you at? Where you at? I'm subscribed to you. How the hell are you blocked? Let me see what I got going on here. You're not blocked, Ruby. Somebody else said they couldn't comment either. That's not blocked, but I'm looking at your account, and your user name is not blocked. Ruby, the Ruby Pearl the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast is not blocked. It's not blocked on here. Try to go over there and try it again, or refresh your screen or something. I don't know why it would be doing that, but you're not blocked. And somebody else said the same thing, that they were blocked. So we got body cam footage. Now, there's been a picture circulating from the memorial that Olivia and I attended. Do I believe this jerk off went to that memorial? I am unsure, but knowing him, I would have to think he did. But unsure. Truly, truly unsure. But there is a photo circulating of a person of the same height and build as Bryan Kohberger. For those that are just tuning in, I'm a Bullhorn Betty. If you guys have not logged in or not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I travel all over this country covering true crime. I don't just sit in my office. I get out there in the field, and I always try to make heads or tails of it. Several things is I'm not always right, and I'm not perfect. But I get 90% of these cases almost spot on, and we're going to go on with this case as how spot on, freakishly spot on Bullhorn Betty was in analyzing this case, and we're going to go through that as well. But let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead now and pull the other screen in. Here's our documents. We got some body cam footage. We're gonna be going over the body cam footage. I'm gonna put this up here so I can get to it again. And I got this notification from Mascow Police Department related to my other requests, because they only fulfilled requests 1 and 3. So we as a team, because you guys contributed to the cost of these records, and it doesn't look, I have a funny feeling we're going to be receiving a refund back if we don't get all the documents that we requested up front. So we did, they did do request 1. I can't remember what request 1 and 3 were, but they're asking about request 2 and 4. And it's related to the times they went over to the Sigma Chi fraternity at 735 Nez Pierce Drive. And I was looking for a good portion, a 7-year window there. I'm not sure if that's going to be relevant at this point. So, I'm thinking that we need to go ahead and, at least clear that. I would like to get all the calls that went to King Road, though. I would like to get all the incident reports, but it looks like for the better part of my records, I think the meat and potatoes of my record requests were request 1 and 3, which they did fulfill. And we are going to go over that in just a second and see what we have. What do we have here? Oh, Carla, God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. I'll pull you up in just a second whenever I get to that, but I just saw it pop in. Thank you. So what I was thinking is I made a mess of requests to Pullman. I made a mess of requests. Oh, we've already got a request in for Indiana. We're going to be pulling the body cam footage from other sources for now, but we have made the request. That is going to be forthcoming here. And I've made a lot of different requests in Pullman and Whitman County, Washington, about Bryan Kohberger. I'm not going to go into the requests that I made, but just believe and understand I have been very diligent in the requests that I'm making. I'm asking for very specific stuff. So what I'm thinking is whatever refund we get on this, we'll transfer it over to the other requests related to this case. If you guys still want all the calls to 1122 King Road and all the police calls, times, dates for Sigma Chi fraternity from 1/1/2015 to 1/13/2022. If you guys don't want to see those, then I will let her know. That's what she's asking. She wants to know if we still want them to fulfill the request. I'm not sure if I really need them to at this point. Now that, those requests were made back November 30th, this is January 3rd. Our request needs have changed quite a bit, because now we have an assailant. We have a suspect that has now been arrested. So here is something that's a little interesting. Everybody's been seeing this man. We've been seeing this photo, a close-up photo of this ever since the beginning. When Bryan was arrested, people started sleuthing and said, oh my gosh, this looks like this guy. He looks like there is some similarities that don't match with Bryan. Okay. And here it is. It's the hairline. This hairline is a much more receded hairline than what Bryan Kohberger has. So the hairline, and this is a grainy photo taken from very far. Even my photo, because I was back on the media stage. We were set up on the media stage. And, we were on our phones. We didn't have our cameras. Olivia had her camera, and she was going down in the audience and taking pictures. And I'm very interested in what is in those photos that she has, that she's acquired. Can we get a better shot, a better angle of who this guy is? For whatever reason, I'm thinking this guy I did see there, and I assumed he was part of the news organization. Now, it may not have been, because ever since that photo of Bryan circulated, I kept thinking in the back of my mind that his face looked familiar, and I couldn't pinpoint it. And I don't know if I ran into him somewhere, if it was from that memorial, but from out the gate, I blew it off. But his face does have some kind of familiarity to me, and I don't know why, and it creeps me out. I have to be honest with you, because listen to this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, while we were standing out of Wazoo, our first trip, again, Bullhorn Betty channel is the only outlet that even went to the Wazoo campus before this assailant was even named. I don't even remember. Let's find out. You know, we did Washington State University. Let me go to my page. Let's hear what I had to say then, right? Because we were there and nobody else was even covering the fact that Wazoo and U of I were so close together. They didn't even start talking about it into the news until Olivia and I were out front. And after Olivia and I posted our videos. So, you know, it is kind of crazy for me to think that, you know, we were there. And not only that, this is what the creepy part. He was home at the time. He was home at the time. And I keep wondering, did he follow us? Was he following us? He was keeping, oh, we got somebody from Venezuela. Nice to have you, Marika. I hope I didn't butcher your name too well, or too bad rather. But welcome. I was the second to like the video. Paranormal investigator. She knows. Let me get here in my videos because I'm pretty sure it was a video that we did. There it is. 1 month ago. Let me know if you guys can hear this. I know I don't know what StreamYard's doing. They're effing stuff up. Can you guys hear that or no?
At healthcare.gov.
Let me give you guys an opportunity. Let me go down to the bottom. Hold on. Let me get to the person that Carla's super chat. ZZ Tool ZZ Tool. Holy crap. ZZT. Nice to see you. That was, I don't know what, I guess I'm just tired. Oh my God, that's terrible. We should all leave a bad review. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. If you're talking about the hotel, that was just disgusting. I have never in my life, OMG, just disgusting. Ruby, there you are. I can see you, Bull, right in their ear. Yeah, there you are, Ruby. I can see you in here. I don't know why you couldn't comment. That was really odd. It must have been something on your end. That's okay, though. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and move through it. Okay. Sparks Craft, thank you for becoming the newest member of the Bullhorn Betty channel. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless you. Hashcat Brian K is playing 3D chess. Yeah, there's something, and I'm going to tell you guys some of my personal, and I've said it over and over again. And I'm going to keep saying it until I am proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong. Oh, thank you, Fred, for the $5 super sticker. God bless you. Thank you, love. But they need to prove me wrong. I believe he went to Washington State University with the knowledge that he was going to commit something like this there. I don't think he knew. He knew who the victim were going to be, but based upon that poll, he knew what kind of victim he was looking for. I really believe it. It would not surprise me if he did communicate with BTK. I mean, when I got there, I'm telling you, the whole theory, and I said this over and over again, and you guys know, I mean, we talked about some things because this keeps getting brought up, so we'll address it on this channel. But I told you, it's not these kids. It's not this inner circle. It's something on the peripheral of this inner circle. It's somebody that's an arm length away, and I kind of still believe that. I don't know if there was any interaction. Some people are saying that Kaylee had a one-night stand with this guy, that you know, she may have went on a date with this guy, this, that, and the other. We did hear that she did go on a date with a guy. We did hear that he said, make me a quesadilla, bitch. And she grabbed her belongings and walked right out that door. Good girl, huh? And, you know, she inspires me. You know, she inspires me to respect myself a lot more because she respected herself so much so. Like, you know, and Olivia and I were talking about it. We're like, you know, if a guy said, yeah, you know, make a quesadilla, bitch, you know, we'd probably laugh it off. She packed up her shit and walked out. Nobody has ever called her a bitch before. And she talked to her mom about, you know, that she missed Jack. So they knew. That's why mom knew that she wanted to go back to Jack. That's why she knew that this whole little break with Jack was going to end. You know, and Jack was at that bar. Everybody kept saying, why was she blowing Jack up? It was 3 o'clock in the morning and she was feeling a little good. Why would you be blowing up a man's phone that you love at 3 o'clock in the morning when you tied one on a little bit? Come on. Like, you know, 1 + 1 = 2, folks. Okay. We're not in the 1930s. It's 2023. I think we know what those calls were for. Okay, just saying. Okay, just saying. Not trying to get all. I don't need the visuals, but I'm pretty sure we can make heads or tails of what, right? So here it is. Let's just hear what. Oh, and let me go down here. Let me see if you guys can hear me. Oh, thank you, SoFlo Mama, for becoming the newest member of the Bullhorn Betty channel. And I see Chadwell in the chat. Nice to see you, Chadwell. Here we go. Jennifer L. Much love to you, Andrea. Love what you do. It's a calling for me. I don't necessarily love what I do. I love knowing that I can help. I love knowing that if I need to bring attention to the case, I can turn on this screen and turn on this camera and bring a mess of attention to a case. That's the kind of power that I bring. I like the fact that, we think outside the box. I'm going to show you. I'm going to let you guys listen to my theory of who it was prior to this man being found. And I'm telling you, you are going, it scares me how almost pinpoint accurate I was in analyzing who this would be. You guys got to stay tuned for this. Stay tuned for this. And then Carla, nice to see you. Thank you. And let's just see. I already saw that video at the visual. That guy is not him. Yeah, I didn't think it was him either, Barbara, because the hairline, that really was because that's what everything else kind of lined up, but the hairline. And that's what kind of gave it away for me. But in all fairness, I do think if it was him, okay, guys, if it was him, I did see him. He was, let me get back here. No, wrong one. We'll get into those in just a second. He was behind me at the memorial. If it is him, but I still believe that he may, even if that's not him, I think we might be still on a good track record that, the potential of him going to this memorial is high. He was still in town when all the polls were coming out asking, do you believe that he is in town? My comment was not meant to insult. It was meant to be constructive, as I love your show. Okay, Kathy. Well, I get beat up on it all the time, so I don't know who's trolls, who's gaslighters, who's being, a-holes. I appreciate it. But no, you guys got to understand everything I do is strategic. So even the intro is strategic. It's so that people have an opportunity to get here before we start the show. That's literally all the intro is for. Okay, sometimes it's a little shorter, sometimes it's a little longer because I mix the two insert videos. I mix those up so you guys aren't watching the same thing, because in the grand scheme of things, oh, those are fireworks. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like freaking guns. No, it's fireworks. But in the grand scheme of things, we have the same thing, the Good Day song. We have the numbers clicking down, and then we have my actual prepared intro, which is, subscribe and, the little thing with my voice. And then I put two little 30-second videos in it. It comes up to about 4 minutes. It gives people 4 minutes to grab their stuff, grab their coffee, grab their drinks, grab their food, and just come in here. So, I do apologize. Today I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I've been on a plane and we got all this stuff coming out, and, you got to remember, I met with the family, a couple times and went to the memorial. We got some photos of the memorial. I only took a couple of photos of the memorial because I didn't want to disrupt it or anything like that, but it really was beautiful. And, I just really it was a real honor and a real blessing that the Gonzalez family kind of took us in and let us get to know who Kaylee was. And I thought that was really important. I'm almost choking up trying to talk about it because they were beautiful girls. Kaylee and Maddie, their friendship was beautiful. They were beautiful inside and out. And Kaylee was so ultra determined. She was graduating school 2 years early. 2 years early. Even though their house may have been a party house, she was very focused. You can't tell me that somebody that's just party is going to be able to graduate 2 years early. It sounds like she may have played a little hard, but she also worked really hard too. And there's nothing wrong with that. So here I am at the memorial a month ago, and here's that same guy that everybody's talking about walking right behind me. Me, none the wiser. None the wiser. We're going to go into these photos here in a second. But here is my video to Wazoo. Can we hear? Let me go down. Oh, I just missed one. Thank you. I'm a mean girl. Nice to see you. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. God bless you. God bless you. So let's see what we got going on here. ZZT Web, I see you in there chatting it up. I see you. Good to see you. Not sure if you saw body cam footage of Kohberger and father getting pulled over. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We did have Kat. We did have an opportunity. It doesn't necessarily look like a nasty cut. We're going to go through that. I do have this pulled up. I do have the photo. You can probably see it right over here in the corner of the, well, it's covered up by the super sticker thing, but you can probably see it right over here in the corner. We're going to be going over that, but I do want, now that we know, we're going to be walking into where we are today. And I want you guys to listen to some things before I dive right on into the photo of him, so you guys can hear it. Okay, let me just do this again. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, guys, listen to this and tell me if you can hear it.
Enjoy more visits and have less to worry about. Feel like a millionaire.
Can you guys hear that? That video. I want to make sure that we got our audio back on our video. When do you think we'll find out if he had a manifesto? Bagel Mom, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure we're going to hear a lot as soon as he's back. You can hear it. Yes. Yes. You guys remember last week I was pulling my hair out because we could not hear the music. And I'm like, are the speaking? Okay, awesome. Thank God. That was driving me nuts. I don't like doing, like, I've been doing things the same way for so long. I'm one of those people that don't like change. That's how you know if you're with me, I'll stay with you forever if you treat me good, right? Because I don't like change. I love stability. And in last week, I felt so unstable because I had to do all this weird stuff just to get you guys to hear the stuff play. Okay, we're just going to take a few minutes. I don't think this is a really long video, so we're just going to... Here we are. The first and only place that went out there at this time a month ago.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. I'm outside of Washington State University right now. Why in the world would I be out at Washington State University? The reason why I'm here in Washington State University is because this is another college, another university that is in close proximity to the University of Idaho. And we've been hearing a lot of professionals coming out and doing some, analysis of the criminal, to kind of identify who this person may be. A lot can be done in those behavioral type of analysis. And one of the things that's...
Wait a minute. Time out. Ronnie is letting us know we have almost 1,350 people in this chat, and we only have 555 likes. Now, granted, that is a lucky number, 555, right? So make a wish, but you guys need to get out there and thumbs this up. It is free to say thank you. And as you can see, I've made 2 tours out in this cold weather. I want pity likes, right? I came back to Florida, and I get off the plane, and I'm starting to sweat. I'm like, what the hell is this, right? Right? So we want to make sure that we're doing good. So thumb it up, guys.
Screamed out to me is a lot of people are believing that this person is a college-age student. And I thought, driving through here, how close in proximity
1 month ago
Washington State University is. And I started thinking, could this be a rivalry? Some type of hate due to the fact of different colleges and the types of rivalry that will come on. While I really don't think that is what happened by any stretch of the imagination, it is a different perspective that we must consider, especially with hearing the possible age of the assailant that had this, that did this heinous act to 4 University of Idaho students. This is just one of those things where we're just saying, is it possible? Yeah, it is possible. Remember, guys, stay safe, be vigilant out here. This is a dangerous place. We're hearing more information coming out from law enforcement. about whether or not they felt that this was a targeted attack. We're seeing law enforcement walking that back.
That was back when they were walking that statement back, remember?
Washington State University,
a month ago.
which I believe is only 6 miles away from the University of Idaho. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Man, that's a wise woman right there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But that's not it. Now listen to this. Listen to this shit. Actually, I think she sent it to me. Hold on. How do I turn the music off? Let me turn the volume off.
Check out this crooked hoof.
Let's turn that off until I find out what I'm looking for. Okay, did she send it to me? I think I had her send me this, and I'll forward it over. Let me check my iMessage. Hold on, guys. I think Olivia did send this. Oh, shit. Hold on. We're not dox people. I don't know who those were. But let's see here. Here it is. Save video.
Who do you think did this and why?
So as I was talking to you before, what I actually believe we're going to find out is this person was not in their inner circle. But I really, truly believe that this person, at some point in their
What the heck happened? Hold on.
was humiliated. I can't tell you who the person is. I can only describe what I believe we're going to find out once the assailant has been caught. I also believe that he has fantasized about this.
Give me a second, guys.
To their house. But I believe this is a loner. I think this is a person that's got a complex, but I don't think this was sexually motivated. I think this was humiliation. And I think he
keep doing
acted
that.
for power. I think he wanted to let them know who he was and how powerful he was. This is the kind of person that I think that is going to be ultimately charged with this crime. But again, I don't know what that person's name or what they look like is.
Did you guys hear that? You guys hear that? Sorry, guys. I'm bouncing all over trying to get this thing downloaded, and it won't even freaking download. So give me a second. I'm trying to download it to this computer and clearly don't know what the hell I'm doing. Why will it not download? Add to photos library. Okay, there we go. Good to see you all home safe and sound. Yes, yes, yes. Let me go into my stuff so I can get this off here. I don't like that being on this side. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. And then recent. I can't find it. Yeah. It's irritating. We got images. We don't have the video. I don't know why the video won't download. Let me see if I can find it on her page. That's the only other thing I can think of. She's going to show me how to do that. I still don't know how to work this damn computer. I got to tell you guys, this whole Mac stuff is I love the Mac computer. I hate the Apple phone. I really do. Oh, thank you, Hiker Girl, for taking crazy trips just so we can have the truth. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, we do. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It is. Oh, thank you guys. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you, Betty. Houston, Texas loves you. Wendy Brown says, much love to you and Olivia and all you do. This is to help your Spirit Airline fiasco. So I know one thing, Spirit Airlines, I need to send them a damn bill. That's some bullshit right there. You know, this is the thing, guys. This is what, you guys don't know this. This is what irritates me the most about it. I was on the phone with Spirit Airline yesterday, talking to them at late at night because I was trying to see about working out, getting a ticket from Las Vegas because that's where we were supposed to go to. We had a 4-hour layover in Las Vegas, and I wasn't going to leave Olivia. So I wanted to go and go from Seattle to Las Vegas and wait until she loaded on her plane so I know she was safe. And then I was going to go over to try to get over to Pennsylvania. The problem is the way our tickets were, we didn't have, they wouldn't be able to pull the luggage. So I was thinking, and Olivia's like, well, just go. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving you. She's like, I'm a big girl. Sorry, I'm not leaving you. Like, you know, mom entrusted you with me. Like, I'm making sure that your ass is safe, period. Mom will kill me, right? We know this. So she's like, but I went from California home. I said, I get it. But we came together. We go together. You know, if she was on the plane to Tampa, I would be fine. If I knew she was on the plane to Tampa, you know, we don't even hardly sit together on these planes anyways. We don't pay for seating, you know. So sometimes we sit together, sometimes we don't. So it's no big deal. Once she's on the plane, I know when she lands, she's with mom. But I didn't want her being in Vegas by herself. So that was the thing. So I was just on the phone with Spirit Airline trying to work out a way to get me over to Pennsylvania. Things happen for a reason. So obviously we weren't supposed to be in Pennsylvania. So let me see where this is. Chronicles of Olivia. Load more. I don't know if it's on the backup account or on her account. So let me just go into the main one here. So there's Rodney, Kylie Rodney. So no, that's not it. 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 It's got to be on her backup. Let me get back. There it is. Okay, I do think it's on here. I just don't know where. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Okay, let me pull this up. We got it, finally. Finally! Sorry, we lost a few people while we were looking for it, but here it is.
And
here we go.
Who do you think did this and why?
So as I was talking to you before, what I actually believe we're going to find out is this person was not in.
Now, mind you, she posted this a month ago, 12/3/22, and that's when she posted it. I don't even know if that's when this was taken, because we were at the airport. I can't remember. Did we come back 12/3? Maybe it what she posted it the day we came back. But listen,
Not in their inner circle, but I really truly believe that this person, at some point in their path, was humiliated. I can't tell you who the person is. I can only describe what I believe we're going to find out once the assailant has been caught. I also believe that he has fantasized about this. I believe that he's gone to their house. But I believe this is a loner. I think this is a person that's got a complex, but I don't think this was sexually motivated. I think this was humiliation. And I think the act was for power. I think he wanted to let them know who he was and how powerful he was. This is the kind of person that I think that is going to be ultimately charged with this crime. But again, I don't know what that person's name or what they look like is.
boom, boom. Now, everything that we know about this man, that was a spot on analysis of who they just arrested. Literally spot on. That was taken over a month ago before we even knew Bryan. And in earlier lives, I said, you know, when this comes out, we're going to be shocked, and it's going to be somebody we weren't even looking at. So there's a lot, you know, people can go to anybody else's channel and get information. They can. And, you know, all those other channels took us down, you know, the Jack S's, the Jack D's, the Sigma Chi's, all these other people that were around them. It took us all these different left fields and down this rabbit hole, that rabbit hole, and everything else when we tried to stick to the facts on this channel, and our actual revelations and description of what we were looking at was spot on. A month before we even knew of Bryan Kohberger. And so that is the difference between the Bullhorn Betty channel, Chronicles of Olivia, all the people that we work with close, MGL, Justice for All, House of Williams, which I forgot to say. I think I said, I can't even remember who I said, but I left a lot of people out, and I apologize. But, you know, our team, our actual team and our extended team. You know, there is reasons why we work so hard. There's a reason why only a few of us collaborate together. We collaborate together because we want the truth. We want the information to come out. Trust me, I can sit here in this room right here and make money hand over fist on YouTube if I so chose. Okay? So let's be honest. All the haters want to say that this, that, and the other. You're right, I could. But you know what? I'm one of those people that choose to take every penny that I am making. I pay the little bit of bills that I have here, and I go out there and put the rest of that money toward these cases. There is not, you know what? You know what YouTubers have gone out to Mascow, Idaho? What YouTubers have gone out there? You know who? Chronicles of Olivia, Bullhorn Betty, JLR. I'm pretty sure that Chris McDonough went out there at the beginning. I think he was the first one that went out there when we were heading out. But as far as YouTube, that was it. Everybody else has been listening to all this crap that they've been getting off of 4chan and Reddit and not sticking to the facts. And that is the power of YouTube. YouTube can go out here and really royally screw people's thought processes up, royally screw up information that is pertinent to the case. That's what YouTube is a very powerful place. YouTube gets the job done and YouTube can take the job away. And sometimes it's a mix of both. But this idea that Bullhorn Betty or friends, teammates are doing this is inaccurate. The haters are lying to you, because I'm telling you, we went out there, we worked our ass off, we got the information, and we described the assailant to a T. We just needed a name and a person to add to that description. That was it. That was scary. Scary. I was surprised myself to realize how accurate that analysis of this assailant was after getting the information, being heels on the ground out there in Mascow, Idaho for the first time. The second time was more personal because it was a personal invite Olivia received from Steve Gonzalez to go to his daughter's celebration of life. So we decided to take the opportunity and stay out there for a solid week. And we realized that the cleaning crew was coming. So we decided to get set up to watch the cleaning crew. You know, everybody's been very interested in this cleaning crew and just, you know, just wanting to see. They're curious. Thank you, Deb Ian. BHB, you are a hoot. You make me smile and your lives are informational and keep my attention. I look forward to my notification. Oh, well, thank you. That is so sweet. And thank you for the $5 as well. But that is a very sweet comment. Thank you. I work very hard. You know, a lot of people don't realize. I take that back. A lot of people now realize how hard I work and how hard we all work. And it's sad that these people lost their lives. They came in contact with Bryan somewhere. Bryan pegged them. We're trying to decide, you know, and determine whether or not he had some kind of more intimate relationship with them or if it was more peripheral. Either way, I still believe he went out to Washington for this specific education in an effort to do this exact crime. He had it already in his mind. He had already had it in his heart. He already had it in his soul. He just needed a people, places, and things. That's all he was needing to put into his manifesto. And it may very well be a manifesto. You know, there may very well be a manifesto out there, because I even told Olivia that very same thing. I said, they're probably going to find a manifesto. I guarantee they're probably going to find out that this was being planned long before he ever even got to Washington State University. I was spot on with Brian Laundrie when I said that he had an attorney before he came back to Florida, and everybody's like, oh, you don't have any proof of that. Liar, liar, pants on fire, right? Along with the gun, when we told everybody, yes, there was a gun laying next to him. Well, we didn't hear the law enforcement because they didn't release it. I can't help you that, you know, mainstream media will only tell you what law enforcement tells them. We're out there. We see it. We heard it. We know there was a gun out there with him, right? Never mind the water bottle that we found. So Grizzly True Crime and Unsolved No More, just saying. I'm not sure what Evil Ducky, I guess I walked into a part of a conversation on that. I've been saying from day one, it's someone that's not in anybody's radar. I was pissed people kept blaming Jack, Emily, Hunter, Jake's, and the 2 roommates. Yes. And here's the funny thing. As you know, when we were out in Utah looking into the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case, many of you guys know we were collaborating with Jonathan Lee Riches. And Jonathan Lee Riches, you know, kind of took Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia, and I under his wing and, you know, was trying to, because he had been in, you know, been doing journalism for quite some time. You know, he was working for Your Content, he was a political type of reporter at that time with Your Content. And, you know, he was talking to us about these cases because he had followed a lot of different cases. Many of you guys know he got some recognition, not such warm recognition on some of the outlandish stuff he did to bring attention to cases. But, you know, it's a part, you know, I mean, we do the same thing. When I get out there with my bullhorn, it's not so I can just yell in a bullhorn. It's because we're bringing attention to a case. We're bringing attention to a matter. And that's a strategy that we use to garner that attention that we need. So it was kind of like no different. But one of the things that he said, and it kind of hurts my heart a little bit, is that, you know, when we were out there, because Brian Laundrie could have very well have been had done that to these girls, because, you know, we all know Gabby passed away, and literally a few days, these 4 literally came in. They saw each other in front of the Moonflower. Kylan was getting off. Crystal was in the van. They were ready to go. And then this boy and girl are arguing across the street in front of the Moonflower. He's hitting her in the face. Crystal and Kylan see this whole thing. Would you know, in less than 30 days, all 4 of those people, they were from, Gabby and Brian were from Florida. They lived in Utah. So you got people stretched across this country that just crossed paths in Moab, Utah. And in 30 days, all 4 of them were dead. So it was possible that Brian was on there. But as we were working this thing, I remember I'm like, you know, when we started asking questions and finding out information, it's like, okay, well, Brian's cleared. Like, you know, in our mind, he's clear. He's off the list. And I remember Jonathan saying, no. Law enforcement didn't clear him. You've got to put him on the bottom of the list. We can never, ever, ever jump to the conclusion. We can tell the story, but we can't give, you know, we can't say that this person is cleared or this person is not a suspect or this, that, and the other. You know, we can't do that. We can't go out there and say that without factual basis. And so I was a little, I got to say a little disappointed, because he brought up several people that he almost accused of doing this crime, and they were innocent. They had previously been cleared, but we were still going down that rabbit hole. And I'm not quite sure why, because he was so adamant about not saying anything, not blaming, you know, always have your factual basis before doing it. So I was a little set back. And then we come to find out that it's this Bryan Kohberger that was not on our radar. And I've said multiple times, you know, it's most likely going to be somebody that we're not even looking at. But these kids went through pure hell. And, you know, think about Jack D. Think about Jake. They lost the loves of their lives. And people that don't even know them personally, don't know their personality, don't know how sweet and kind they are. By the way, I did walk up to Jack and gave him a hug and told him I'm sorry for everything that he's been put through. You know, that we tried to fight for him and Jake and Adam the best we could. We tried to take things and diffuse stuff so it wasn't knocking at their door. We did the best we could. Did it work? Of course not. Did we try? We damn sure tried. We worked hard educating you guys on why I didn't think it was appropriate to start blaming him yet. We didn't have enough information. We damn sure didn't have a scintilla of legit information from law enforcement to point in any direction, really. So, you know, we went in front of Emily and Hunter's house because there was rumors that it was possible that they did it. You know, then we discussed, you know, the possibility of a woman doing this, and the possibility was so low. You know, even as I was explaining it, I'm like, I really just don't feel it. I'm not feeling that they did it. But, you know, it was being brought up. Their names were circulating around. We had to touch base on it. They were in close proximity to that house. Is it you know, then we started hearing that this guy, sister is Emily, the next door neighbor. That's not true. That's not true. His sister's older, from what John Doe told us. And we have that interview, the full interview from John Doe. Well, you know, Olivia does her glitz and glamour on these things. You know me, I just throw them one out. So if you just want the interview of John Doe just to hear what he had to say, be sure to check that out. I thought that was exactly what we were looking for too. I never thought it was friends, roommates, exes, etc. I always said we will be surprised and it won't be anyone mentioned. So many rumors. Yeah. And a lot of you guys came over here because of that. You guys were sick of the rumors. You guys were sick of the BS. You guys wanted some more information about this case. And that's what we tried to provide. And I'm very glad that we stuck to our convictions on this related to this case. I mean, we really did try to follow our gut and our instincts in this case. And lo and behold, again, it was scary accurate. I hope he is. You know, I was almost, you know, with the whole itinerary thing with the spirit, I kept looking at Olivia and I'm like, you know, this might be a sign. This might be a sign, you know, this, cause we were, her and I, that's one good thing her and I are kind of in sync on. It's like, you know, we believe, you know, the subliminal message, so to speak. You know, we believe the signs. Like if, and I say it all the time, I said, if I'm running around here getting packed and something falls off the counter in front of my eyes, and I'll pick it up and put it in the bag with me and pack it up because I'm like, okay, well, it's got to come with me. It threw itself at me, right? So it's a sign. It's got to come. So anyways, you know, it's no different. And I'm like, you know, maybe we're really trying to force us back to Florida. Maybe we need to be here, you know. But she's like, Andrew, I'm so tired. She's like, I really just want to go home. And I'm like, yeah, I said, just book the effing tickets. That's the way my attitude went. It wasn't toward her or anything like that. It was just toward the situation. I'm like, you're right. Just book the effing tickets. Like I was hot. I have to be honest with you. I was hot because it cost for one trip from here there. And not only that, but Delta, the people that are running that Delta counter in Seattle, assholes, all of them. I just paid almost $500 for a ticket, and I've got to go to a kiosk to print out my my boarding pass and print out my own travel stickers. Excuse me, where's the employee that I just paid? You know, where's the employee? And then you want to stick it to me again by putting another $100. Cost me $30 to bring my bag. I added the CD we're about to look at. I added the CD to the bag, and somehow it gained 10 pounds. And then they take the bag from one weight to another weight, and my bag increases 3 more pounds. And I'm like, wait a minute, you just told me it was 60 pounds. How's it 63 pounds? You know, 60 pounds is 60 pounds no matter what freaking weight measuring thing you put it on. So clearly and that's what I'm going to be arguing. Clearly their weight machines are not calibrated properly, because how can one be 3 pounds lighter than the other? And now that we have these scales that are obviously flawed, you're trying to tell me that my bag was under 50 pounds coming here, and somehow putting a CD in my bag has now gained that bag 10 additional pounds. You have got to be kidding me. And then the lady's like, well, ma'am, you know, we can cancel your, you know, she thought she was just going to be cute with me. Man, we can't cancel your reservation. Well, maybe you just might need to do that. Maybe you just might need to do that. I am not in a hurry to get to Florida. You don't know me. Like, I'll lollygag here for another 3 or 4 days if I have to. Right? I'll spend $400 to save $100. That's the kind of woman I am. And I damn sure will spend $500 just to prove you wrong. I'm a penny pincher. I hate spending money. I budget these things. I hate spending money. I promise you guys, I hate spending money. If I can save money, I will. You can ask Olivia, because that's the whole thing. That's the whole one thing that gets me in a bad mood is feeling like I'm taken advantage of, and feeling like I'm taken advantage of with my money, right? Like when I budget, I budget. So long story short, we went over budget. That's okay. JLR put out a wrong name at first. We all did. Okay, let's be honest. We all did. When we were finding out that this person was, everybody under the sun was trying to sleuth the name, and Jason Elkins and some other Dylan person rose to the surface for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then boom, we had Bryan Kohberger's information, and that's when we ran with it. We scratched our itinerary that we had worked on for weeks for this, in anticipation of this trip. We had to scratch it like that and start switching gears and getting over to Wazoo and start getting, and we got some, it was dead. Like the first time we went there was still people in school. Even Bryan was in his criminology class. Ugh. It scares the shit out of me because I keep wondering, we know he was watching this case, he was watching me, and here I am saying on camera, I'm kind of looking for a guy that's got a knife. I'm looking to be sliced and diced. Where's my slicer and dicer? I would really like to meet you. And he's there. He was a mile away from where I was recording in front of Washington State University. That freaks me out. We forget how dangerous this job is. We forget how dangerous and what kind of harm's way we put ourselves in every time we go out to these places. Like Olivia and I could live, in all reality, we could be gone. Huh? I don't want to be, I just don't. But I don't know why he did this, guys. I really don't. I wish I had an answer for you as to why he did this. It just sounds like this was a thrill kill, and then it doubles back to the whole animal skinning, the dog that wasn't too far away from there. Now this kind of full circles, we were telling, this doesn't have anything to do with this case. Well, check this out. I just saw a bunch of weird things going on from the time that Bryan got into town to the time these kids got killed. There were some weird things. People reporting footprints on the bed, footprints on windowsills, front doors left open, crawl spaces left open, attics left open. Weird stuff happening within a few miles from this man's home. And it makes me wonder, were those practice runs? I'm sorry. That's how I think. Were those practice runs? I don't know. Thank you, Jackie. God bless you. God bless you all. God bless you all. It's been a long day. It's been a long time coming. I am just happy, honestly, to be back in Florida. And guys, today is the 3rd. In 2 more days, Olivia's dropping Steve Gonzalez and family's interview. We didn't talk about the case. You know what? And it was the gut feeling. We had drafted questions. And as I was talking to him, I chose not to ask questions, and here's why. I know that the family was in pain. I know that the family wanted somebody behind bars. I know that they were literally questioning anybody and everybody that came into contact with their daughter, even Jack. Everybody kept thinking that Steve is some, just blindly protecting Jack. No. He did what a father and mother were going to do to a significant other when their daughter is murdered and nobody knows what happened. And you'll hear that in the interview, and we'll discuss it. I'm not going to break that yet. Maybe Olivia might have already. I'm not sure, but it's not going to be coming out of my mouth until that interview is released. But this idea that you guys see how hard Steve's fighting. He was fighting with police. He was fighting with everybody, anybody and everybody. He just wanted damn answers for his daughter. And I don't blame him, and I want to make a shirt that says fight like Steve, fight like Steve. Because that man went to bat for his daughter. He had a special relationship with Kaylee. And the great thing is everybody in her family had this special creative and neat exclusive relationship with Kaylee. She had this exclusive and intimate relationship with everybody, but each relationship was never the same. She was a bright and special girl. You guys don't know. I mean, what you guys were thinking was totally off base. She was not a mean girl. Was she? Could she be bratty? And yes. You kidding me? You guys see me on here. I can be the same way, right? So she was very determined, but she wasn't nasty. But she knew what she wanted and she wouldn't settle. Okay? That was her personality. Maddie was, from what I hear, was like an angel being kissed by an angel. She was just one of the most sweetest, down-to-earth people. Everybody I spoke to about Kaylee said the same thing. You know, they were the Bullhorn Betty and Olivia, you know, kind of sweet and salty, right? I'm the salty, Olivia's the sweet. Well, that's the way it was with Kaylee and Maddie. You know, Kaylee was the salty and Maddie was the sweet. And it was the yin and yang. It was the two halves that completed each other, you know? And I have to think that that's the way it is. Did they not argue? Were they like, yeah, no, they were normal people. They're normal people, right? They argued just like everybody does. But the bottom line is they were sweet girls. They did nothing wrong, and they damn sure did not deserve this to happen to them. No matter how you look at it, they did not deserve this to happen to them. I knew you would get the body cam footage. You're badass, Betty. I adore your hard work and your heart. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, why don't we just jump? We should probably just go ahead and jump on in, shouldn't we? I mean, we're already at an hour and something. I'm getting kind of tired, so let's just see what we got here. Give the, see what we got. I don't think there's sound. Oh, yeah, there's sound. Not wanting to, I don't know if it's the CD reader. It's just not really wanting to play. There you go. It's just not playing right. It's only playing seconds. I may have to get a new CD reader. This is going to be painful. Let me see if I can put this in and pop it out again. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can get a better quality here. Sorry. Hold on a second. Let me all right, stop. Open. Open sesame. Well. It's not even popping open. I wonder if I dropped my CD thing and didn't realize I dropped it because it's been in my desk drawer this whole time. It's not even spitting the damn CD out. Ah! I may have to go get another one. I'll go to Best Buy and get another one. We're going to hold these body cam. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm having technical issues, and it's not even popping the damn thing out. It's not even popping it out. Let me see if I can get this. Hold on a second. Now we got it. Hold on. Come on, pop out. Pop out. You can do it. I'll take a screwdriver and rip this thing open if I have to, but I'm gonna have to get another CD reader. This one's not working for some reason. I don't know if it's because that's hooked up to the Mac and it's not playing well or what. Oh, that's what I can do. Hold on a second, guys. Maybe I just need to open in the VCL format. Give me just a second. Okay. Let me see if I can open this up. Open with VCL. See if this works a little better. Hold on. I can hear it working now. That might be the fix that we need. There we go. Doesn't sound like it has volume, even though the volume is on. There we go. Wow, you can hear it. They're walking toward, this here is Hunter area, and this over here is Jack. And I think this is the one where they ended up going over to Kylie's house. or Kaylee's house rather. I don't want to listen to all of it. I want to listen to the pertinent stuff. Yeah, this is the one that we seen where they're on the back side of the house. Let me open the other one. I think we've already seen that one. So let me open up the other one. We've got that one. We've got a dash cam footage here. Oops. It's probably going to pause. Let me open that in VCL too. VLC, rather. No volume. Trying to figure out where the heck they're going. Where the hell are they going? Is that Taylor? Oh, they're going the back way. So there's Taylor Avenue right there. They're turning down and they're going straight, and that's going to take them to the house. So let's just sit and see what this one is. And guys, we're watching all these at the same time. I just got this open. This is the first time I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing it with you guys. But see, when we were out here, none of these cars were there. You know, the first trip we were there, they were there, but not so much. And here's that. Okay, now they're turning on King Road from Taylor Avenue. And look at all the kids out. Look at this area. This is a happening area. This is not a, you know, small little. I wonder if they're going to turn the. Wow, did you guys see that? You guys missed it. Hold on a second. Holy crap, I just noticed it. I seen something moving. Let me go back. Oh, I went too far. Did you see all the kids on the roof? There's a bunch of kids sitting on the roof. Look up here. Look up here. Look up here. Look at all those kids sitting on the roof. Can you guys see that? You can barely see them right there. Look at all of them. There's like 6 of them. They're like, okay, police are coming. Let's time to get off the roof. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Time to go. Scatter like cockroaches. Look at that. They're all running down. They're like, oh, shit. Cops are coming. And you can still see some of them. So this just was a you know, rowdy neighborhood with a bunch of college kids in it. Let's just see what we can do. See if it's going to go forward. Let's see if we can You can see all the kids still moving around, trying to get the heck out of Dodge up here. Let's see if we can just go a little bit further, see where we're at. So this is just the dash cam, so we're not going to get any volume from this. This is not a whole bunch. So that's about it for the dash cam. Okay. My part 1, part 3. I don't know what this one is. Let me open it in the right.
Any questions? No. All right, good to go. That's the first try, man.
So this looks like the night. This is the night. This is 3:15 in the morning on 11/13. So that must have been when they gave the kids the ticket, and that's about it. So 3:15 in the morning. That's one that we have. Okay, let's just keep going. Oh, I don't like this one. Well, this is 22 minutes. I think this might be the one that we've already seen.
Check, make sure you're.
Yeah. All right, here's the full. Full body cam. And this is 11/13, 2:54 a.m. And there's the kids over in Banfield.
Hey guys, Mascow PD. Come over here, talk to me. Mascow PD. Hey, is that beer? Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID on you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll take it back to my apartment if you need.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop, but I'm not going to push it. Yeah, you got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to grab your info just because you got beer and you're walking around with it.
No, it's closed.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right now. I'll take it back if you need.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name?
CH.
I don't want to start getting more people. I don't know quite why they redacted that, but this is the video. There's the three people, again, curious about whether Bryan was part of that group or not, and it doesn't appear that he was. These don't appear to be anybody associated with Bryan. These are just some guys out doing, being college kids, right? Away from mommy and daddy and doing, what college kids kind of do. So that was them. Cancel reservations and do a report on the airline. Yeah. Oh no, the report on the airline was that title. I'm telling you, and that reminds me, like tomorrow, I'm calling because we'll get it taken care of. I've had enough with airlines. I'm back home. I'm so happy to be here. Oh my God. And I got to turn around and go back to Savannah, Georgia. Leilani, we never forgot about baby Quentin Simon, baby Q. Leilani is going to court on the 11th. I got to make sure I can go into the courtroom, to report back on. There's not going to be any funny business in Savannah, Georgia at all. I'm going up there to report. I'm glad that she's behind bars. Billy Joe got arrested and they found Quentin. I'm a happy camper. They get no bitch from me, but again, I'm still no charge Hadley, but God bless him. I don't really care at this point, as long as we can get these charges to stick on Leilani. If they drop the ball and it comes down that they drop the ball and she's going to walk because of it, now we might have some problems. But for all intents and purposes, we're just going there to report the court hearing, to be in attendance, to stand in solidarity for Quentin, because at the end of the day, Quentin Simon was the absolute youngest case I've ever covered, of the victim, the youngest victim I've ever covered, and it still is hard for me because this boy was so precious, and many of you guys know I can't have kids. I wanted kids. Don't ever think I didn't want kids. I absolutely did want children. It was very heartbreaking for me. I did get pregnant one time, but it was a topic, and it wasn't a topic like you would think, like in the fallopian tubes. It missed the cup altogether. Like it was floating in my body. And, I was thinking that it would just pass through like normal stuff. And then the doctor was telling me, no, it doesn't work like that. Like this thing can keep growing, even though it's dead. It can keep growing and growing. It can rupture my, they can't find it. They looked all over my body. They could not find it, but they definitely knew I was pregnant. And they told me if they didn't locate it or didn't dissolve it, that it could potentially kill me, because it just keeps growing and growing and growing, whether it's dead or alive. I did not know that. And apparently it can lodge in your liver. It can lodge in your kidneys. It can keep growing and it can rupture, and it can kill me. So, we had to do what we had to do. And, they had to give me methotrexate. I had to go in there every single day and have testing done and have a shot administered. It was the most horrible experience of my life. I was very upset about it. And to think that Quentin Simon's mom didn't want him, I would have given him a loving home. So You know, and when I was at the doctor was actually kind of surprised. Well, one, we were all surprised I was pregnant. And two, he was like, oh, well, you know, now mind you, this was 2015. Okay. It's 2023. So it was quite a few years ago. And he's like, oh, well, you got pregnant this time. He's like, your chances go up 50%. Okay. Well, you know what? I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. And there ain't no 50%. The body ain't making. That was a lucky dose. And that is as much luck as I got. And it was a very painful experience. So, and so I do, with him being as young as he is, it's very, it's hard on me. It's hard on my heart. It's hard on my heart to know that a mom, you know, I had a great mom that went through a lot of hell in life, you know, raising us and trying to keep us from the ugly, even inside our own home. And, you know, she did what she could to protect us. And it's just sad knowing a mom did this. And this, you guys, this stuff with Quentin Simon, it was like, this wasn't a situation where she, you know, accidentally hurt this child. I mean, she physically assaulted this child to his death. It was hard. It's hard, as you can imagine. And then you got these stupid assholes coming up there and just peeing all over that poor little precious baby's name. And it was just awful. And then turn around. She was trying to come here. Some Wazoo here on the YouTube sends that same, the CH number 2, that Aileen, whatever her name is, crazy lady that it's got no scruples. She's ghetto as hell. She's from Skid Row and in the gutter, coming up to a 20-month-old child and doesn't even know the boy's name, acting a fool. Well, she was arrested again for stealing in Orlando here in Florida. Would have loved to have met her in my neck of the woods. You know, like I said, I don't need to touch anybody. But she would have wound up in the same spot anyways if I saw her. You know, she was going to jail. She came into the state of Florida. She was going to jail. We don't like her kind here. All right, so let me just go peruse through this real quick and see if I can find anything else that's interesting. I don't think I'm really going to, because this is the body cam footage that we have grown to know. But there's the 3 boys that were stopped, as you could. Oh, not even got you up here. Those were the 3 boys, as you can see. Not anybody like Bryan. So I guess that's the nuts and bolts of that. And you know, it really pisses me off because it's like they almost dragged their ass on my request until after this arrest. And then she's like, oh, well, do you still want the rest of your request? Oh, you mean since you dragged your ass for 2 months? All the good stuff. All the good stuff. Oops, I don't want to jack now. I don't want to jack down and play with. I'm surprised they gave me all the body cam footage. I was expecting it was going to be the paperwork. I figured the paperwork would be a hell of a lot easier than the body cam footage.
BHAN. Your initial. Samuel. Last name.
Okay, so I'm taking that while he's out there talking to them. I didn't see this portion of the body cam footage. I guess because people had already analyzed the crap out of it.
701.
So
That's first.
I'll go through here and see if there's anything interesting. We'll go ahead and keep pulling and see if we can find anything else interesting in some of this body cam footage. And this one was 8/16. So this looks like right after they moved into that house. Oh, and that's the front guy's body cam. Okay, I recognize that. That was from the 8/16. So we have several body cam from 8/16, a couple from 9/1. and a few from 1113. So it looks like every time they went there, it was multiple officers, multiple officer cameras. Let me just see what this one is. Oops, sorry guys. And this is from, don't tell me when this, what date this cam footage is from, but it looks like it's that first one where they go to the house. Yeah. It's just the dashboard cams on these patrol cars. So same incident. So I'll go through them and piece them together. I got to get these over to Olivia. But there's our records. Took 2 months to get, but we got them. This one, I've been on top of it. Now that we know Bryan Kohberger, I've been on top of his very, very much so. So much so that we've already got record requests coming out. Let me see where our record requests are. Give me just a second, and I'll pull them up and show you. Make sure I don't accidentally. Yeah, people are already saying, did the killer walk behind you? And then we're going to get to the photos. I got an array of photos I want to discuss. I'm going to open the chat up for you guys. Where are they? Okay, I'm waiting for public records from Indiana. As you can see, let me put this up here. There's the Indiana request right there. They're basically, oh, here's my download link. Let's see if I can get this one. Is that a download? Ah! We got it. We got it, guys. I didn't think it was coming. I missed that whole thing. Okay, here we go. Let me open it up in a, I don't know if this is, this looks like it's body cam footage. Hold on. All right, we got the Indiana. Here we go. So we do have body cam footage that was just released to me. I know we've already got body cam. Hey, Heavens 57. Nice to see you in here, love. I'm sure he's going to turn his volume on here in a second. Let's hope. So again, Indiana body cam footage. We're about to see the entire thing. I just received it. I ordered it earlier, and I was expecting it to be here tomorrow. And as I was reading through, pleasantly surprised, here it is. So he does have Washington plates on. It looks like CF something something 70. So we have CFB as in boy, it looks like 8708. And I want to see if we can get the tag. Oh, they obscured the tag. I wanted to see, because we heard that it was possible that he recently got plates. He changed his plates from Pennsylvania to Washington. Did anybody else hear that? I haven't received that from confirmed sources yet, but I did hear that that may have happened. So let's just keep looking. Okay, let's back up just a little bit. I'm going to get this just right. And then we see that marking, but I'm not sure. His hands. Look at his face. Like, he's just a crazy looking dude, man. Like, even when he's talking to the officer, Him and his father. His father looks like his teeth are kind of, rotting. Sorry. But, people are saying that this looks like maybe it is a scab, but that doesn't look like a slice. You know what that looks like? It looks like a fingernail. It looks like a fingernail scratch, which is very good for where I sit, because if that truly is he could be having braces. I can't tell if those are braces or if those are rotting teeth. I'm not quite sure. But his hand does look, he looks a little crazy right now in this photo. Like he's like, oh, it's just, he looks a little odd. I got to be honest with you. He looks a little odd over here. But I haven't been able to see both of his hands. We did see some of his hands were swollen, but that could be from the handcuffs as well. If they put the handcuffs on too tight, it can cause the swelling. Car is filthy. I can't hear what they're saying.
You got stopped by a trooper?
It sounds like he goes, you got stopped by a trooper? So that must be the second stop? Zoom in on the knuckles right hand. No, I can see. Yeah. I know that. I can't zoom in on the way I've got it printing out right now, Deb. Unfortunately, I just can't. But I will definitely see what I can do. I'm going to have to work with this. I'm probably going to have to get some, take a photo and then enlarge it. This volume and audio issues where we can't hardly hear. I may have to send over to Olivia to see if she can clean it up.
We don't have any SUVs. It was a county guy. Was it like a black SUV? Okay.
Black SUV county guy. So they were just pulled over. Yes, this is the second stop. We are hearing the conversation. This is confirmed by Bryan Kohberger himself. We're hearing him. This is his second stop.
All right. You guys following too closely? Okay. Today?
Mascow did live with it. Yeah.
So like I said, it's all about how fast you're going, okay? So if you're going 10 miles an hour, you only need one car. If you're going, so speed limit is 7. If you're going 7 miles an hour, you need 7 cars. Yeah. That's an easy way to explain this. Yeah. It's really easy. The BHB says 2%. Right. What's up, Secretary? We're all headed. Thank you so much. We're all headed.
So this changes. We heard he did not leave. He did not leave the area until December 17th. This confirms by this body cam footage that he was in Indiana on 12/15. So whoever's been sitting out 12/17 as the time that they left the area, that is factually incorrect. This body cam footage is showing that this is happening 8 minutes, about 7.5 minutes almost to the T right now, 7.5 minutes from 4 o'clock on the 15th of December. So he still was in Washington when Olivia and I were there for our first trip. That scares me.
Yeah, it's a long haul. You guys scared of airplanes?
Okay, that was the interaction that they had. Let me see. There's another video in the file. So let me see what this one is. It just says warning. I don't know what this means. It might just be a message. Oh, no. Oh, they're saying that this is the warning. So here's the actual footage from the police dashboard cam of the stop. There's the white Elantra. There's the white Elantra right there. And he's seeing him getting closer and closer to this truck. And why he would be speeding up in front of the law enforcement. Now he's starting to get over and get behind him. And then there's the officer. And so we just watched that. So we can definitely see his license plate CFB8709, Washington license plate, 2015 Hyundai Elantra, the vehicle that they were looking for. So we definitely got these cases. We've got the body cam footage. We've already are getting some of our record requests responded to. I've got Mascow. With a show of ones, we've got 1,300 people in the chat room right now. If you have not yet subscribed to the Bullhorn Betty channel, please consider doing so. With this, many of you guys know we raised money to get these records. The records prior to finding out Bryan was the assailant. I paid that money to Mascow, but now that the situation has changed, Amber in their legal department and Mascow Police Department has reached out to me and said, hey, do you still want us to fulfill the rest of your request? And so I'm thinking at this point that maybe we should not, CFB 8708 Washington tag. Thank you, Buffalo. So I'm thinking because we are going to be requesting, I've got several other requests. Give me just a second. Let me forward this over to Olivia. Forward. Okay. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to, you guys can let Dolly know. I am sending this over to him. You guys can let Jonathan Lee Riches also know that I sent this over to him. Justice, it's coming to you. And who else do I need to add to this? I don't think I have House of Williams on here. I don't have the email to them. Would you? I would request them still. Delivery driver says he would request them still. I'm looking for call. That's going to be just the call logs. What's left of this to fulfill this request is just call logs. Their calls and incidents to the fraternity, which we know aren't involved, and the call logs to 1122 King Road, which at this point has no consequence to that. So anyways, I'm sending this over to, if you guys want to let your creators know, Olivia, you know what? If Crime Stories Obsessed, I'll even send it over to Brooks, Crimes, Lies, Lines, and Lies. Brooks, if you see this and you use this, please give me credit if you don't mind. And that goes for everybody. But here you go. It's being sent. So now they have the information as well in their hot little hands. Where are my other requests here? I made a mess of requests. A mess of requests, seriously, like I did. I just sat in at a thing. Okay. Here it is. City of Pullman. Let me get this pulled up. We've got record request that has already been, well, they can't use TMZ's videos in their lives due to copyright. They can't use TMZ's one with the watermark on their show, but it's still public record. So there is no copyright to public record. There is copyright on their logo that's assessed to the public record that they acquired, but not the public record itself. So here is the city of Pullman. We did make a request here for information related to Bryan Christopher Kohberger. So this is just to show you guys that we are on top of it here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We are reaching out. We are getting these records requests, and I am sharing them with the team so that they can have them as well as I do. So, oh, I just got this. Sorry, Carolyn, I'm just getting your email because I've got to go through all the emails. I'm giving you the address now. And you can send anything you want to Olivia here, and I will make sure that she gets it. But I will not give you her address. I'll give you mine because mine's been doxed all over everywhere, and it doesn't really matter at this point. You know, if anybody wants to come here, it'd probably be the worst thing they could possibly do. But hey, you know, it is America. They're more than welcome to make their own terrible mistakes, just like I've made my own terrible mistakes, right? But just don't be crying. Don't be crying when things don't go your way. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll open the phone lines first if you guys want to call in. Now that we got the records, or the volume on here at least working for now. Give me just a second. I'm just going to go for a quick second. We're not going to play the full song, but just I need to take just a 2-second break. Well, probably about a 30-second break, and then I'll be right back with you. I'm just going to play a song, and then we'll cut it off as soon as I get back. So just enjoy the tunes. If you guys need to take a bathroom break, go get you a fresh cup of coffee or beverage. Now would be a great time to do that. Give me 2 minutes, and I'll be back.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay.
I love that song, and I have to always stop it because it's so long, and I don't want to listen to it all the way to the end. So anyways, the phone lines are now open. If you guys would like to call in and just let me know your thoughts about this case, I'd like to hear it. You know, we have a lot of information. More information is coming in. We were spot on with the description of the possibility. Ooh, I know who this is. Mama Bullhorn.
Hey, babe. Hello.
I am here.
Oh, I don't want to take too much of your time.
Well, before we get in talking about this, you know, I haven't seen you in a little bit, Ma. I just want to tell you Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I think this is the first time in your entire life we haven't seen each other for either of the holidays.
I know, it's crazy to think, and not to that, but I was working both days.
Well, I was taking care of your baby sister.
Yes.
She came down with COVID.
Yes, she did. Yeah, but hey, by New Year she seemed to be loosey goosey because I saw her and Jonathan, and she was hey, and Olivia was cracking up because I'm like, you remind me so much of my sister.
Well, I can't imagine what it's like. It's been so long since I had, the use enough to pop right out of an illness and go right on. But anyways, I just wanted to tell you, you had me on Nins and Peedles for the whole time because you're out there on the street, and I spazzed out when I heard that vile old man came back by.
Oh, well, he hasn't. I can tell you, by the time I got done speaking to that officer, I had not seen that man driving around town. I had not seen that man one time because I told that officer right then and there, I said, look, there's a difference between First Amendment right and scaring the shit out of people. I said, in fear of my life. I said, enough is enough. You need to figure it out before he hurts somebody. And I haven't seen him since.
Good. Well, I just want to say I love you.
I love you too, Mom. I love you too.
I'll try to catch up with you sometime this week.
You got it. You take care. Love you and God bless.
All right. Love you.
Bye-bye. This is Betty. Hello?
Betty. This is Ashley.
Hey, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not quite sure yet. I just got back off the plane.
I appreciate everything that you do.
Oh, thank you.
I know you had a long day. I just wanted to tell you that we appreciate everything.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we worked really hard. And you know what? This case really wasn't about us. It was really about the victims, and not just the victims that were, killed. The victims that became victims from social media, victims of social media. We tried very hard to keep facts and to make sure that nobody was injured unnecessarily. And, there was just too many speculating. It was just hard.
I agree.
So, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. And God bless. Is there anything you'd like to add? What are you thinking about now that we know who committed this crime? What are your thoughts about why?
It's hard. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I have teenage kids, so it's hard.
It's kind of crazy because we were out at, Latah County Courthouse, and the jail is attached to the courthouse. And so we were walking around, and it looked like these kids were, college kids, but I don't think they were college kids. But I asked them if I could interview them, and, they were like, well, it was no big deal. I said, well, and then it kind of dawned on me, like, because I asked them, I said, do you go to U of I? And they said no. And I'm like, maybe they might be a little too young. So I asked them about their parents. And both of them said, our parents are freaking out. And I'm thinking, yeah, probably.
I can't imagine everybody in there thinking of this. It's horrible.
It is absolutely, without a doubt, horrible. And it's crazy because, they kept saying this was a targeted. I just wish law enforcement would have settled the tension about the targeted. They didn't, they kept saying it, but they didn't give specificity enough for everybody to calm down. And not only that, but this assailant was still in that community. Let's be honest. We know he did not leave until December, and these were committed in November.
I know. And more could have happened.
More could have absolutely happened. This guy was a danger to anybody and everybody around him. He just slaughtered 4 people in their sleep, and he was still amongst them in their community. It just unnerves me.
Yeah.
So, well, I appreciate it, Ashley. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Call back, please. Yeah, when we have a little more.
I appreciate everything you do.
I do. I appreciate you. You guys are what gives me the energy to keep going, because some days are rougher than others. Hello? Oh, well, bye. I think we have, just to let you guys know, we have a little lag in the phone line, so I do apologize about that. I didn't mean to hang up on you, Ashley. Thank you for calling in. I know it's got to be difficult calling in. Hi, Amy? Is that you?
Hi. Oh, you know my number now. That's
I remember the last 4. That's how I always.
You must be tired. I don't know how. Because I'm OCD, I'd be unpacking and doing all the laundry. I'm like, I'd have everything on, but you got to relax, from that long trip, and you're going to have some time to adjust to the time zone change. You know what I mean?
I finally just realized, Amy, I'm probably going to get all the sleep I need when I die.
There you go. But
There's no sleep.
Who wants to bet? Do you think he's in the plane right now? Do you think they put him in the plane?
I really hope he is in the plane. I really hope he is on the plane. I hope he's coming back. And here's why. Because I'm selfish and I want to know what's in the probable cause affidavit. And I know they're not going to release the probable cause affidavit until his ass is back in Idaho. And I am just dying for him to be back in Idaho.
Well, I have a friend at work, and she's my colleague, and she's into really this true crime stuff too, and she's following this like with me, and she and the other girl in the office were all like saying he's not going to be able to plead the insanity because he was just too organized. He's not going to be able to get away with that. He shows intent in what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He looked worried when he was pulled over in the car. Did you see his furrow in his brow?
Yes, he looked crazy. His eyes looked dead in that photo too.
The panic button, big time. So I don't know how he's going to plead the insanity. And I really hope that they have the cameras in the courtroom. Everybody deserves that, to be able to see that. And people need to be quiet about you guys, because none of them went out there.
Mm-mm.
None of them went out to try to cover this case.
And they can't say I lied about anything. They can't say I manipulated anything. They can't say I took anything out of context, because we've been spot on this case pretty much from the beginning.
Absolutely. And the other thing, you guys got to eat at the Mad Greek, didn't you?
We did.
And they served meat options, because that was the biggest thing I was saying, because it's not a pure vegan restaurant.
Oh no, we had gyros, we had lamb.
Right. So the thing is that I was saying on another thing that this guy, he was so into making people buy pots and pans like his relatives for his food. But you know what? If he was eating the Mad Greek, that shows you it wasn't about the meat. It was about controlling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all his MO was control.
It's control, power, and he's got this superiority complex. Everybody that we talked to about him talked about how if he felt inferior, he would do something to put them down to make them inferior.
And
so
it is horrifying. I'm just going to say I was once stalked, and it is horrifying. I dated, and it must have been very scary for these girls to be out there in the middle of college and have this happen. And through this whole case, they really need to teach these kids some safety courses. They need to have something at all universities to teach them how to be safe,
mm-hmm.
how to lock your doors,
yeah.
how to not get drunk. There needs to be some real education going on. That's another education course. The first thing when they get there in orientation, any college needs to be teaching these kids that may be very naive about everything and knowing how to recognize people, mm-hmm. because this is their first time out on their own. Even though they were older and upperclassmen, but they really need to teach. Like I have a 14-year-old. I would want her to be taught that when she goes to college,
yeah.
so that she's safe and knows how to protect herself when she's in a dorm, or especially in an off-campus dorm.
Well, in all fairness, Amy, in all fairness, these girls did everything right that night. They were in a group. They had a male accompany them, walking them down the road. They made sure that they stayed in well-lit places. They only went to places that they knew and knew people at. They grabbed their food and got rideshare. Literally everything that we are taught to do when we're out, they did do that night.
But my concern is those kinds of locks. Like, they shouldn't have those kinds of locks. There
Yeah.
needs to be some other kind of lock, and how to get into a house more securely, and have alarm systems.
Mm-hmm.
They should have had an alarm system. If the guy was able to open something up, if he wasn't, there would have been an alarm that was tripped,
mm-hmm.
and they would have been able, and the cops would have been gotten there before this whole thing happened. Just those are just my thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But that's it. Have a good rest, okay?
All right, Amy. God bless
Take
you.
care now.
We'll talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Ashley, I believe I saw you try to call back. If you want to call back, please do so. Tracy says, thank you for all your dedication, hard work, and sticking to the facts. Thank you so much for not repeating all the hearsay conspiracy theories as if it's fact without researching first. I appreciate it. It drives me. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad people do see the effort that does go into what we tell our audience and everything. We're not just willy-nilly people. We have a good handle on understanding these things. And that's what makes the work we do so important. I know a lot of people, a lot of naysayers, they want to, put us down and everything like that. But how can you put this down? I mean, you heard me talk about this person a month before he was arrested. A month. You can't disagree with that. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty. This is Rhonda from Tennessee.
Hey, Rhonda. How can I help you?
Well, did you know that there is actually a knife made by Spyderco that's called Respect, and it's a Bowie knife? It's a fixed blade knife.
Really?
Yes, ma'am, it is, and it has a shank on it, a hilt.
No shit. Excuse my language. Excuse my... But yeah, we're looking. Listen to this. So, what do you think? It seems to me that law enforcement was out looking for the knife long before they had the autopsy to confirm the make and width and stuff of the knife. Does that lead you to believe that there was some evidence in that home that indicated that knife was used?
Yes. Coming from a medical field and being kind of a forensic buff, I could tell you that there's probably the wound pattern would show the hilt, the depth of the knife, and depending on what the knife is made out of, the metal, as stabs are made, sometimes the metal blades will erode.
Yeah.
So the wounds start to get smaller as they carry through. And he could have laid the knife down somewhere on a sheet.
Ah, yes.
Or somewhere, or he could have dropped it. I mean, we're talking, if what I'm hearing is right, or what I suspect, 4 people, there had to be a fight.
Yeah.
And with the blood running from under that siding, I worked in EMS. There's a lot of blood. I mean, and so for it to be doing that, someone had to be laying against the wall.
That's what I was thinking too. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Probably a facial wound or a neck wound.
Yep.
And I just found it odd when I started looking at fixed blade knives. With all the speculation I've heard about wounds and whatnot, you can tell a lot by the wound.
Yeah.
By the wound pattern, how many there are, how deep they are, how they're carried out. If the person's right-handed, left-handed, standing, sitting, laying down, towering over someone, dead on from behind. You can tell a lot just from the wound pattern alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but you know what? That does make sense. I didn't even think about that, and I should have, because I've seen that before where the assailant went to do something and laid the knife down, and the impression of the blood on the edges of the knife actually made a good impression, a stencil, if you will, of the weapon.
I guess I just studied watching Quincy back in the day when I was young. That's where I learned my first forensic. But he could have dropped that knife. And as bloody as it was, with everything that was going on, and two, that's another thing. If he wasn't wearing like mechanic's gloves, he wouldn't have been able to. Blood is slippery. Blood gels like Jello, and if you haven't ever had anything to do with wounds and whatnot, it's just as slippery. It's like slime.
They told me it's similar to motor oil.
Yes. Until it starts to dry, when it starts to get a little sticky.
Yep.
It's just like motor oil, and you can, skin on skin, you just can't hardly hold on to anything. And I was looking at all the knives and the way the handles are made. And I just thought it was odd that fixed blade boy called Respect. The stock number on that is FB44GP Spyderco.
Wow.
And it's actually called Respect.
Wow. Yeah, that would be crazy if that was the specific knife he used. But this guy is an absolute utter maniac.
Well, it's 7 inches long. It's almost an 8-inch long knife. Looking at those kids, and I call them kids because they're younger than me.
They're kids. They're babies.
Kids, That knife, most likely if it was good and sharp, or any knife like this, but this thing has got a blade, kind of an edge on both sides in some part of it. With enough force, with that kind of rage, that knife probably went nearly all the way through the body.
Yeah. There were significant damages. Significant.
Yeah, so that's, with a blade, that, the knife will only go as deep as the blade will let it.
Mm-hmm.
So these kids weren't all that big. These girls, especially, and not to demean Ethan, he really wasn't that. He was well built, but he wasn't stocky. Someone hopped up on rage. Doesn't have to be drugs. Rage can do a lot. They don't feel things. He could have killed him with one slice to the neck.
Yeah. And not only that, but a lot of people are equating, the drugs and stuff like that. But from our understanding, he was on H. H kind of makes you a zombie. Like, it makes you. I don't understand how he could be he must be a functioning addict.
That's what I thought, but he doesn't look like an addict
until you look at his teeth. His teeth kind of tell you. His teeth look like they're old teeth, like old man teeth.
Oh, so he's smoking it. He's not.
I don't know if he's smoking it. Sometimes the drugs just do something to your teeth. I mean, I've had many people know my past. I had about 6 months where I went down a road of addiction, and it affected my teeth. I'm still dealing with the effects of what happened back in 2007, still here in 2023.
I'm not that familiar with heroin.
I'm not either. I was not my drug of choice by anything. I don't understand it either. Mm-mm.
I've never done any of it, but I've dealt with a lot of people, and here in the South, where I'm from originally, meth is the thing. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of other things, but meth is what really affects your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if he was, but just rage alone, once they get it in, they're in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
And rage is a big deal. And he may not have even realized he was hurt if he cut himself, which I think did happen. Either that or they got hair or skin under their nails.
That's what I think was on his arm. When he was driving, this side of his arm has a scratch, and it doesn't look like a slice from a knife. It actually looks like a scratch from a nail.
I thought it looked like a bruise where somebody slammed the door on it.
Possibly, but I can tell you, one of his hands, when he was in those cuffs, people have blown it up. His hand does look like it is still bruised. I bet you he broke a bone in his hand fighting off maybe Ethan or somebody else in the house.
If he was raging like that, he could have hurt his hand, bruised it on the knife itself on the hip.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Like we're talking about, and I hate to be graphic, but we're talking about motor oil. Let's go back to motor oil. Put yourself in that, and go outside, put yourself in some location and dip something, dip a paintbrush in motor oil and try to stab the ground and see how easy it is. Don't do it.
It's not. Your hands slide right off. And he would have sliced his hands up had he not had that military or the K-bar knife that has those the little hip, like you said, the little.
That's the hip.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think he had resigned himself rather than being famous or appreciated. He would be infamous.
Yeah.
And I thought he looked a lot like Ted Bundy sitting there in that orange jumpsuit. I think he wanted to stay aloof just long enough to let his hair grow out so his curls would come back, because that's the first thing I noticed, is he had curls now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd like to, we need to go back to that photo of him in school. We need a side angle, because, people are saying that that guy was him. But the only reason why I dismissed that photo of that person being in the crowd was because of the hairline. And you're absolutely right. It is absolutely possible that, he did let his hair grow out to kind of cover that. I mean, I don't know.
Well, he was on, he was out and about, depending on what kind of product he's using in his hair. And from what everybody says, he has an identity thing going on. He's got, so it would, I kind of think he's adjusting his behavior based on what he thinks people expect of him. I don't think he knows how to act.
Right.
He's a sociopath.
Yep. I agree. Well, my love, thank you so much for calling in. We're past our 9 hours, and I'm exhausted, and I've got a lot of work around here to do. Plus, I want to go through some of the docs and stuff that we've gotten in on our record request and just see if there's anything in there that we can do. Also, please let everybody know, I just sent Chronicles of Olivia, JLR, Dolly Vision, and Justice for All, the body cam footage of the stop in Indiana. But thank you so much for calling. God bless you. We will be back on a regular schedule at least until the 9th or 10th of January. And we are going to be heading down. I got to make sure that I can get into the courthouse in Savannah, Georgia. And we'll be in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay. Thank you.
And it looks like you're calling from Tennessee. So we're going to be back in Tennessee soon, too.
Justice for summer.
Justice for summer. God bless you.
Thank you. You too. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. So sweet. So sweet. Ashley, I'm so sorry. It's getting a little late. I was hoping you'd call in. I think I did see you call in a couple times, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed you. I'd really like to talk to you. So please call back in, and we'll be back live tomorrow morning. But I'm going to get off. This is not usually my time that I'm online at all. I just happened to get back into this Florida, and we had just all this stuff coming out, and I just wanted to let you guys know. But before we go out, and I did want to go ahead and bring up some photos that we all probably have been looking at, but I do want to see here. And this guy just looks crazy. I mean, his eyes are dead. I wish I could blow it up. Maybe I can. His eyes are dead. That is the monster. That is the boogeyman right there. This is what we fear. This is what we fear for our children. This man right here. And you know what? Every time we see these people, we look in their eyes and they are dead inside. They are nothing but a walking shell. And this animal is no different. Okay. There's the mark. Looks like a scratch. You know, we're not really seeing, his hand does kind of still look swollen. You can barely make out any of the knuckles on his hand. He's got this crazy look in those dead eyes. His eyes are dead. And I can't tell if those are braces, but I don't see braces on any teeth. So I have to think that that is some teeth rot. That picture here, I think, is worth 1,000 words. This man right here, I don't know about you, but that's just pure evil. When he got out of there and he looked over, it gave me chills. He is pure evil. Pure evil. I'm curious to find out what his final days will look like. But I can tell you right where I sit, I'm glad he's behind bars. But here's the hands. This is what everybody's talking about. His hands are looking swollen. And this is days later. You can barely see knuckles on his hands. So it looks like from where I'm standing, and I could be wrong, it looks like he does have the types of injuries. Not only do we have the DNA evidence for this man, it sounds to me like he has physical body injuries consistent with the type of crime that was carried out. So now we have two parts. We've got DNA evidence, we've got other evidence, and now we have injuries on his body consistent with this type of crime. A lot of people are concerned whether they have the right guy. Based upon everything I'm hearing, now granted, I'm not a court of law, but based upon everything I'm hearing, if taken as true, we have the right guy. We have the right guy. So I am waiting with bated breath, as many of you guys are. You know, what is in that probable cause affidavit? I promise you, as soon as it's released, we're going to go live with the findings of this probable cause affidavit. Guys, if the probable cause affidavit is released, send it to me immediately. Get my attention. Twitter, Instagram, Messenger app, Facebook. You know, if you have my phone number, text me. As soon as this probable cause affidavit is released, we need to go live and discuss it. I am pretty sure, like, this is earth-shattering information in this probable cause, and I can't wait to get my hot little hands on it. So just, we're all going to work together. If I get it before anybody else does, we're going live. If you guys get it before, send it to me. We're going live. We're going to discuss it in depth. I'm going to open up the panel. I'm going to open up the phone lines, and we are going to have a discussion, because finally, at that point, we will finally have more information than we've had on this case in a really long time. With that, guys, I want you guys to have a great evening. I want to let you guys know that this trip was very difficult. It was very emotional. It was so hard. Sitting with the parents, you know, we wanted to talk. We wanted to humanize Kaylee and Maddie. We didn't want to hear the same old, you know, who do you think did it? What do you think should happen? This, that, and the other. They've already said that. They've already told it. Nobody is hearing who Kaylee and Maddie were. And it broke my heart when everybody was coming out and saying that these girls were part of the Mean Girls Club, that they somehow brought this upon themselves in some way, shape, or form. And granted, it's not our audience, but there is audiences out there that were saying it, because it was trickling over here into our channel about these alleged allegations of this Mean Girls Club. And the more we learned about Kaylee and Maddie, the more we learned that that's not true. And we wanted to make sure that you guys got to know them. This was emotional, because for the first time, I felt like we knew who Kaylee and Maddie were as human beings, not victims. And it was hard. It was very hard. And it was hard not to cry. And I actually did cry. I didn't want to. I think it's unprofessional when you're in a professional capacity to allow your emotions to, you know, override your judgment and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm human too. So this stuff, you know, hearing this stuff hurts. What actually made the actual tears start falling out, like I was holding him back through the whole interview. You know, it's hard not to tear up with some of the stuff. You guys will learn of that in a couple days. But it was when we were going to leave, and she was telling me how they haven't gotten their urns. You know, at first I misunderstood what she said, because she's like, you know, we haven't gotten the urns yet, but the girls are still together. And she pointed up, and I saw these 2 black boxes, and I wasn't thinking anything. And then it's like the light bulb when I looked over at her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I realized what you just said. They're here. And she's like, yeah. And that was it for me. The tears started falling down my face. I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm walking outside. I'm trying to clean myself up, but you could clearly see I was, you know, I was teared up. And so I apologized to her for it. She understood. You know, it's hard. It's hard, but I try to be more professional than that, as hard as sometimes the job is. But it, you know, again, I am human, and it does happen. You know, one thing that we noticed is, you know, for mainstream media, this is a job for them. You know, they're told what to do. They're told where to go. They're told how long their segments can be. You know, how, you know, they're told. You know, we're out here because we care. We want more. You know, we're not the news reporter mainstream media. We are alternative media. You know, we're telling these stories, and we're, you know, we have a connection with these families. It's not just a story for us. It's not a story for you guys. I mean, this is, you know, this stuff gets a hold of us, and, you know, we want to fight for them, you know, and that was where we were coming from. And Olivia has a way of fighting for these victims in a special way. And she does it through the visual arts. She does it through her documentaries and the way she does her videos and things like that. I do it a little differently. I do it through word, my mouth, my actions and things like that. So we all bring something to the table that's very powerful, that gets a lot of attention. And we're very thankful that people see the work that posted about the gag order. Bryan posted about the gag order. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Tracy is saying people in chat are saying judge signed a gag order. Shit. Hold on. I mean, they can only hide it from the public for so long. I mean, I'm not worried about it. Pull this up for you guys. I was just about to go off. State of Idaho. This is in the district, 2nd district of the state of Idaho, in and for the county of Latah, non-dissemination order. The court, by stipulation of the parties, enters the order as follows. It is hereby ordered that the parties to the above title action, including investigators, law enforcement personnel, attorneys, agent of the prosecuting attorney or defense attorney, are prohibited from making extrajudicial statements, written or oral, concerning this case, other than the quotations from or reference to, without comment, the public record of the case. This order specifically prohibits any statements which a reasonable person would expect to be disseminated by means of public communication that relates to the following: evidence regarding the occurrence or transactions involved in this case, the character, credibility, or criminal record of the party, the performance or result of any examination or test, or the refusal or failure of a party to submit to such a test or examination, any opinion as to the merits of the case or claim or defense of the party, any other material reasonably likely to interfere with the fair trial of this case, such as, but not limited to, the existence of any confessions, admissions, statements given by the defendant, possibility of plea of guilty or to the charges or lesser offenses, or opinions of the defense's guilt or innocence. So they're basically saying they can't comment on the case. They're not saying, I'm reading this and I don't see where the investigative reports are not allowed. They're basically stating the order specifically prohibits any statement which a reasonable person would expect to be disseminated by means of public communication that relates to the following: evidence regarding the occurrence or transaction involved in this case, the character, credibility, or criminal record of the party, the performance, results, examinations, refusals, blah, 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 of any testing examinations. They're not saying we can't get the probable cause affidavit. Let me see what Bryan's comments are. It says, Mascow Idaho police say they will no longer be communicating with the public or the media about Bryan Kohberger's case. The judge is prohibiting any communication by investigators, law enforcement, attorneys, and agents of the prosecuting attorney or defense attorney. So they're not allowed to make any statements in the public. This does not mean that we are precluded from receiving the probable cause affidavit related to why this man was arrested to begin with. We were expecting this to happen because if you remember, the district attorney, the prosecuting attorney came up, what was his name? Something, Johnson, I think. I can't remember what it was. But his name is the prosecuting attorney. He even stated that they can no longer communicate because of the case and because of Idaho state law, that everything has to be, Bill Thompson, thank you, Amy, everything has to be disseminated through the proper channels, and that is the court record. He even specifically told us, pay very close attention to the docket because that is where we, the media, will be getting all that information from the docket. That is where we have to garner. They can no longer say. So I was kind of, I mean, the law is pretty clear, but this is going a little, securing that information and making sure that the judge orders it. So now penalty, I guess it wouldn't even be penalty of perjury, but it would be, they will be penalized. They could be, why can't I think? Probably because I'm tired. Oh hell. Contempt. Thank you. I'm trying to think in my head what word am I looking for? Contempt of court. So now a contempt of court charge can be brought and ordered on anybody that violates this specific court order. But all of our information has to come from the docket. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. Is there a gag order? Yes or no? This is a kind of a gag order type of order from the judge, but it's only for statements from the prosecuting and defense attorneys and the ancillary people that are associated with it, like law enforcement, everything. No law enforcement can come out and say, let's just give an example of how I'm reading this order. So they're saying no evidence regarding the occurrence or transactions. So anything related to the purchase of the weapon, we can't have that. I mean, they can allege it. I mean, the probable cause affidavit may have some allegations of why they believe it, but they can't preclude the public from having the probable cause affidavit because this is a public trial, a trial of his peers. The people in the public are entitled to this information. Now, granted, there is a possibility that they can gag order that probable cause affidavit like they did in Leilani's case, Leilani Simons. They can do that, but they can only do that for a limited amount of time. And it has to be with specificity as to why they are limiting the public consumption to a public hearing of its peers. So, there are some laws here that protect the media and protect the public for access of this information. But, as they're doing their investigative, because this is when the arrest is made, that is just the beginning of the case. It's not the end. It's only the beginning. We have a long road ahead of us. Carla, the probable cause affidavit will be released, from my understanding, they will release it once he's back in the state of Idaho. They're keeping it under seal until he's physically in the state of Idaho. And then Bill Thompson said they would release it. Based on this order, it doesn't sound like this order will stop us from getting that probable cause affidavit, but I'm a little concerned because it says evidence regarding the occurrence or transaction involved in this case. And I'm not clear on what they mean by that, or if anything in the probable cause affidavit has to be redacted. So they can't take the whole probable cause affidavit away from us, but they can apply this order and redact certain portions of that for public consumption based upon this order. I hope that makes sense. So yes, there's a gag order in part, but not fully. Mascow PD should be concerned how they mishandled the crime scene. They collected evidence without proper PPE. Proper PPE. We don't know who handled the evidence. We saw photos, of detectives in there. That doesn't mean they handled any of the evidence improperly. There are some people that did not. I looked at some photos, and the photos that we saw in the public and the photos I saw, there were people in white Tyvek suits there. So we didn't see those photos out much, but I did see them. I witnessed them with my own eyes. So there was people with proper PPE, and I'm pretty sure that they were probably the ones in charge of collecting the massive amount of evidence. But again, I don't want to speak. I wasn't there. I don't want to speak for fact. That's just my opinion and speculation. I was not there. I did not see any detectives in and out of that house with Tyvek suits or otherwise. But I did see both sets of photos, people in that house with Tyvek suits, people that went in later without. So please read Perez Hilton's update on Bryan possible call to Rev 757. Too bad he didn't know about the additional call to Ickmill and Dolly. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if the guy called into Dolly or not, but yeah, some weird stuff is going on. I did hear T-Rev's We heard a couple other ones. I did compare 2 different voices from 2 separate recordings, and there were 2 separate recordings that I heard that had different voices. So there are some, but there are about 2 calls that I heard that had the same exact voice. So I'm not sure who's who, but there is one that's not right. Trev already debunked that. Okay, good. T-Rev already debunked that. So good. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad he seems to be responsible enough to debunk things. Some people don't. And if you guys are MGL fans, please let her know my favorite pen is now missing its little clip. I need a new one. And she needs to bless it for me. So it can be my lucky pen. But I take this thing everywhere. And the little clip that I always put on, it disappeared. And now I have no way of hooking it. And I need a new pen because I carry this pen everywhere with me. So tell Marissa I need a new pen. Anyways, guys, it is now, we've been live for 2.5 hours. It's almost 10 o'clock. I am going to bed. I'm going to get a shower, unpack my bag, start a load of laundry. I'm hitting the hay. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me when I return home. You guys truly are a godsend for the Bullhorn Betty channel. All of you guys are. And I love you very much. Thank you. Ashley Kidwell, I want you to call back. Tomorrow when I'm live, I want you to call back. I feel bad. I thought you had already hung up on me because I was talking and it was such a long pause. And then right when I went to click, I heard your voice come on. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you so much for calling in. You are a valued member of the Bullhorn Betty channel and the Coffee Club, as everyone in here is. So guys, I love you. God bless. Don't forget to hold your family tight. Don't forget to give them a big old fat hug and tell them you love them, because you know what? You made it through today, but tomorrow is not promised. And we need to hold the people we love tight, because something bad can really happen in a split second that can change the directory of our life. And this case really embodies that statement. So I will say this, guys, don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something, because an ounce of prevention, thank you, Jeannie. Am I saying it right, Jeannie? Yeah. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I just kind of, at the pit of my stomach, if all these people saw all these red flags with Bryan after the fact, I just wish they would have applied this vibe to this case. You know, maybe his name would have came up a lot sooner. But I'm glad we're here. I'm glad those kids are getting justice. I wish it would have never happened. I wish Kaylee was able to go on to her beautiful job with her brand new, new to her Range Rover that she worked so hard to get. And stay tuned for that mind-blowing interview that we have with Kaylee's family. That'll be coming out on the 5th. You guys will be right here with Chronicles of Olivia and Bullhorn Betty as we discuss that interview. Take care, guys. Until next time.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.